Hey guys, this is Joe from Analog Archive. I'm back with another video. The video today is going to be the finds for the month of June. Some great stuff I was able to find this month, especially things in person, which I really haven't been able to say in quite a while, really resorting to Discogs for a lot of, especially these free jazz European sessions. So it was really great this month to be able to support some shops, but also be able to support some people, be able to kind of trade records. So that's what a lot of the ones I found, but went to Rochester like I usually do, like once a month, every 6 weeks or so, and was able to find some great stuff. So I went to the Bop Shop. Haven't really been able to find as much used stuff there recently, but I've been kind of going through their new vinyl jazz stuff, and I came across this one. I don't really remember seeing this one before, but this one it's called Fatiha, Black Unity Trio is what it is. But this is a session from the probably early 70s. Private press, super rare original pressing, goes for like hundreds, if not, I think there was a copy recently on Discogs that was for like $1,500, and it was like G plus condition, so it's probably hitting the four digits now. But this is the reissue from 2022 that was done by Gotta Groove Records. Says it's from the original tapes, which is great. Saves the wallet quite a bit of money. So if you do see this one, just a free jazz trio, saxophone, cello, bass, and then percussion. But it's a really great session. So for like $30, that was really an easy one. This was another one that, again, I had been going through their new stuff for at least like 6 to 8 months pretty regularly every time I go. And I just never came across this one, even though it seemed based on the price sticker that they've had it for like a few years. But this is Out Loud, Frank Lowe quintet, is it? Quartet. So you've got Frank Lowe, tenor sax, soprano, flute, voice, percussion, congas, balafone, whistles, harmonica, miscellaneous small instruments. He mostly plays tenor sax, and then there's like a small part where he plays the flute along with a little bit of one piece where he plays the soprano, and then I think percussion just melds in with the drummer Steve Reed. You've got William Parker bass and Joseph Bowie trombone and congas. Joseph Bowie being the prominent kind of figure in art ensemble of Chicago. So this one's from 1974. The story is that this was originally supposed to be Frank Lowe's second session after his first session was recorded on ESP disc that was called Black Beings. This one just, for whatever reason, never came out, even though it was recorded. So it was recorded across like 2 sessions in like summer 74. So it was like May of 74, and then the second one, it actually says the word. It's kind of funny, it actually says the word. Oops. Probably spring or summer 1974. So this is a numbered one out of 550. My copy is 446. I've had a chance to listen to this one. This is a 2 LP, just real free jazz, high intensity session. And then the big find from Rochester. This one was just sitting on the wall. So again, recently haven't really been able to find a lot of used stuff, but but this one was just sitting on the wall. Been really looking for this one for quite a few years, really since I started collecting jazz. This is 3 trumpets. So you've got Donald Byrd, Adri Suleiman, and Art Farmer. And then the rhythm section is Hod O'Brien on piano, Addison Farmer bass, and Ed Thigpen on the drums. Addison Farmer is Art Farmer's brother. And then they say in the liner notes that this was Hod O'Brien's first session as a pianist. I'm not familiar with him at all, so this might be a one-off. I haven't really looked into him as much, but was really glad to have found this. And especially since I had some credit at the Bob Shop, it was easy to pull the trigger, even though this was a little bit pricier of a session. So this is a great one. No ballads on this, just there's how many? 5 tracks, 5 more kind of high intensity, high energy tracks. So that was a great one. Again, that was a surprise. I didn't really expect to find that. So especially since looking for it for so long. And then I was able to go back to the Gentleman's Jazz collection that I had looked at last month. Along with that, I was able to, I did a auction a few weeks ago and was able to raise some money for one of the records that I'm going to show in just a little bit. But one of the people that bought one of my records actually lived near where this guy was, and so it really worked out really well. I was able to bring him his records, or bring him his record, but I was also able to, he had mentioned that he had some FMP sessions that he wasn't sure if he really wanted anymore, and he was willing to, we kind of worked out a deal for them, but this was one of them. This is Elements. This has, this is the last of the 3 Brotzman trio, or actually this is, I guess, a quartet sessions that I needed. There's an orange cover one, there's green, and then there's this black one. This one was actually the first session that was recorded, 1971, so August 1971, or at least this is the first one that came out. I think all of them were from around the same sessions, but you've got Peter Brotzman, tenor sax, Albert Mangelsdorf, trombone, Fred Van Hove, piano, and Han Bennick is on the drums, but he never really just sits still with just the drums. So you've also got him on some other various percussion instruments, including homemade junk and tins. So this was a great one. Was very happy to have seen that the guy was willing to sell those. So I got that one. That was a big one. Get some stuff that I got from the guy. This one I had not heard of. This was a recommendation from him. This is Interaction. That's both the name of the album, but also the name of the group as well. This is a quartet. So you've got Dieter Scherf is on alto sax, soprano, bass, clarinet, flute, percussion, marimba. You've got Jochen Flinner is on piano, electric piano, percussion, and Sansa, I'm not sure what that is. Gerhard Bitter is on bass, percussion, and then Mano Weiss is on the drums, percussion, and marimba. So marimba, along with percussion, seems to be the big kind of prominent thing. This is from 1973. A little bit tougher one to find, but it's not super expensive. This is German free jazz type stuff. So it's on the label is Gemma. So that was a nice one, nice recommendation from the guy. This is the other one that I found from the guy that I sold the record to. Another Brotzman one. This is Outspan number 1. Similar story to the other Brotzman one, Elements. This one is the kind of, if you kind of consider this to be part of the quartet that Brotzman had around the early 70s. This one, not sure if it says, doesn't say when it was recorded, but this one came out in, if it was 70, probably 72, 73. But this has the same lineup. Brotzman's on clarinet, alto, tenor, baritone, sax, Fred Van Hove piano, Han Bennick drums, self-made clarinet, homemade junk, voice, etc. So again, just got to be playing a bunch of stuff. and then Albert Mangelsdorf is on the trombone. So same lineup as the Elements, along with the other two that kind of went as that pair. After this one, you really don't see trombone with Brotzman, and then actually not too long after this, within a few years, he splits from Van Hove and Bennick and forms kind of his own, or I guess changes the lineup of the group. But this one was another great one. Slowly closing in on all of the FMP, Peter Brotzman stuff. So been collecting it for a little over a year. So really hitting it heavy. If you watch my channel, you guys know that I'm a big Brotzman fan. So that was a big kind of thing. Continuing with stuff that I found from the guy's collection. This one is called Minerva's Owl, and it's the artist is Aki Takase. She was a Japanese pianist. This is, I believe, her first album. This is a Japanese release from, I don't know if it has the year on it. I think if I remember correctly, it's from like a early 80s. It was like 1980, 81, something like that. Aki Takase ended up marrying German pianist Alex von Schlippenbach. So that's kind of a funny thing. But the big reason why I picked this one up was because it has Dave Liebman as a sideman. He's on tenor sax and soprano. You've got, she's on piano, Fender Rhodes, Oberheim, OBX, and ARP Odyssey. You've got Tara Masahino's brother, Matahiko Hino, is on Pearl drums, and then Nabuyoshi Ino is on the bass. So this one is like post-bop, avant-garde type stuff. It's really same kind of stuff as Dave Liebman's type, just really pushing the boundaries, but not really getting super free or anything like that. But Dave Liebman, great session. Never seen that one before. That was another one that was a recommendation from the guy. Last two from him. The last two are actually the ones that I saw the last time I was there, and I just needed some time to kind of think about them. But this one is one it's been on my radar for really since collecting free jazz, especially once I discovered Frank Wright. He did 2 albums on this label that was called Sun Records, late 70s. This is from 1978. There's one that has a blue, kind of has the same text, but then the image is blue, and it's more of like a bluesy jazz type one, which was a little bit strange, a little bit out of the ordinary for Frank Wright, considering that most of his albums are consistently like pretty free jazz type. But this one really fits into what he usually does. Reggie Workman's on the bass on this one. Philly Joe Jones is on the drums. Eddie Jefferson's on voice. Khalil Abdullah percussion. George Arvanitas is on piano, and Kamal Abdul Alim is on the trumpet. And then you've got Frank Wright, tenor sax and bass clarinet. So again, I've been looking for this one. I was familiar with it after starting to collect Frank Wright, but this is a nice one. A little bit lower priced Frank Wright compared to a lot of his other stuff, so that's a nice one if you ever do see it. The last one I got, more FMP stuff. This one is trio. This one is called Woder Sits or Seats, something like that. I don't know. See the title right there. Kind of a cool, like kind of art type cover to it. This one falls under his Wolfgang Fuchs like band kind of group that he was in like the 80s. It was called Berliner Begongnung. Yeah, I don't know, Begongnung. But it's, yeah, Wolfgang Fuchs, soprano, sopranino and bass clarinet. Fred Van Hove is on the piano on this, and then Paul Leighton is on percussion electronics. Paul Leighton worked with Evan Parker in like the late 70s into the 80s, and then obviously Fred Van Hove, prominent pianist for a lot of FMP stuff, but especially kind of the Peter Brötzmann group stuff from the late 60s through like the mid 70s. But this one's from 1986, so it's a little bit later of an FMP session, but continues with a lot of the other stuff. I picked up a Wolfgang Fuchs a few months ago, so that was just a kind of a continuation of that. That's everything for what I was able to find from the guy's collection, kind of continuing when I can to get down to him and grab some more stuff. So it's always great to see stuff there. Last one is huge find, probably as of right now, biggest find for the year. Wish I could say that I found it locally or in a store or was able to kind of get my hands on it, but I found this one online on Discogs through a Japanese seller. Became familiar with this through a Facebook group. This is Atsugi concert, Peter Brötzmann and Han Benek. This is just the duo of them. This is from 1980. It was recorded in Japan. Probably one of the rarest Peter Brötzmann sessions. There's only 300 copies of this, and not numbered, but again, there's only 300 copies. So a combination of that along with, I think, just the time period of when it is and the fact that it is Japanese, it's kind of outside of the FMP realm that he was working in. So this was a huge, huge find. Can't say that this was like a cheap thing, but this is a pretty pricey one, easily $600. But yeah, I was not aware of this, even though I'm a huge Peter Brötzmann fan. Somebody posted this in the Peter Brötzmann Facebook group, and I was intrigued, and there just so happened to be a copy on Discogs at the time. That was also, if you follow me on Instagram, about 2 weeks ago, I put together a kind of small jazz auction selling some bigger items. Part of it was just so that I had kind of some money in my pocket to be able to spend some money this summer on records, but also I was not really going to want to spend the amount of money that I had to for this record if I didn't really have kind of some extra income there. So that was a great one. Yeah, this was a great month of finding a lot of free jazz stuff, FMP, a lot of continuing with more Brötzmann. I may be putting together a separate Peter Brötzmann video. He just, a few weeks ago, about a week and a half ago, was the 1-year anniversary of his passing. So I might put together all the records that I've been able to find in the last year of his. So that's something you're interested in. Look out for that soon, hopefully. But until then, thank you for all the support, subscribing, liking the videos, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.